Georgia Supreme Court has rejected a lower court ruling that the state's restrictive abortion law was invalid, leaving limited access to abortions unchanged for now.
Well, today the justices rejected the ruling because it was enacted in 2019 when a woman's right to later abortions was still under the law of Roe v. Wade.
Well, the Georgia Supreme Court now ruled in a 6-1 decision. The ruling does not change abortion access in Georgia. And it's not the last word on the state's ban, but the law includes exceptions, though, for rape and incest as long as a police report is filed. It also allows for later abortions when the mother's life is at risk.
Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joins us now. And Khalif, we mentioned how this isn't the last word on the state's ban. So what happens next here?
Well, it'll go back to the lower court, and the lower court will have to actually decide the actual merits of the case. The Supreme Court was just saying, listen, we are going to allow you to know that this is something that is constitutional. And there were arguments on both sides. They pointed to a Georgia law that said if anything is defunct it has a deficit on its face, being that it's unconstitutional, the whole law should be thrown out. Well, they're saying that the Roe v. Wade being overturned in the Dobbs decision didn't make abortion unconstitutional. What it did say was that there was no constitutional protection. So those were, I guess, a play on words, but a different argument. And that's what the court basically sided with them. It says when the court makes a decision, the Supreme Court makes a decision, we have to make decisions based on their new decision. And that was what the judge that wrote this decision said. A lot of decisions there. But by all means, making sure that everyone is tracking. The court did not rule if this is something that can or should go forward, but it did say that it is constitutional.
I feel like we all study this and we are trying to really understand it because it gets really confusing. But for people who don't really understand it and they're just like, I'm thinking of people who are uneducated, people who are uninsured, people, people of color, affecting them with this decision, how does that play?
I mean, I believe that the folks that will probably be impacted the most by this decision in the ultimate decision of this case, because I do believe once it goes back to the lower courts, the lower court will rule that this 6 weeks ban would be something that they would uphold in terms of the time frame. And so I think it would affect individuals that are attempting to go outside of the state to get an abortion, maybe going up to a northern state that has a longer time frame. Yeah, that would be a person that does have lower income. That would be a person that doesn't have the means to travel, that may not have connections to other states outside of their immediate area. So that would be a secondary effect of this law, because you can obviously say that the numbers are down in states that have implemented these lower number of weeks bans, but you can see that there's an increase in states that still have kept their bans in that same time frame. And so that would be what I could anticipate would be the direct impact of a law like this once it's upheld. I mean, it already is the law. I think the lower court will go ahead and say that this is something that can for sure still be the law.
All right, helping us understand it a little bit more with her interesting perspective there, Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes.